The air in the room is heavy, thick with the scent of salt, sandalwood, and the cooling heat of their bodies. Jungkook remains draped over Jimin, a protective, crushing weight that anchors them both back to reality. The silence this time isn't a test or a punishment. It's a sanctuary. Jungkook eventually shifts, sliding his arms under Jimin's chest to pull him backward, curling their bodies into a tight, spooning position. He doesn't let go. He keeps Jimin tucked against his chest, his chin resting on the crown of Jimin's head. As their breathing finally begins to level out, Jungkook's fingers, previously so firm and demanding, now trace idle, feather-light patterns over Jimin's stomach. It's a silent apology for the bruises that will surely bloom there tomorrow, and a quiet claim on the skin beneath his touch. Jimin is limp, his muscles humming with the residual electricity of the last hour. He lets out a long, shaky sigh, tilting his head back to press his forehead against Jungkook's jaw. He feels hollowed out in the best possible way. Jungkook reaches down, pulling the discarded duvet up and over them, cocooning them in a private world of shadows and warmth. He presses a soft, lingering kiss to the back of Jimin's neck, right where the marks of his teeth are the darkest. "You did perfectly," Jungkook murmurs, his voice a low, gravelly vibration that Jimin feels in his soul. "The silence, the way you waited for me. You have no idea how beautiful you are when you're completely mine." Jimin's eyes flutter shut. The lesson may be over, but the bond has been forged in a way that words could never describe. He reaches back, his fingers finding Jungkook's hand and squeezing tight. "Always yours," Jimin whispers, his voice barely audible, but in the quiet of the room, it carries the weight of a vow. Jungkook's grip tightens around his waist, pulling him even closer, if that's even possible. There's no more talk of begging or rules, only the steady, rhythmic beating of two hearts, finally at rest in the dark. The room feels smaller now, the shadows stretching over them like a soft velvet shroud. The frantic energy that had fueled the night has settled into something deep. Jungkook refuses to break the contact. He shifts slightly, just enough to tuck Jimin's head beneath his chin, his large hand splaying across Jimin's chest to feel the frantic drum of his heart slowly returning to a steady rhythm. The dominance from before hasn't vanished. It has simply evolved into a fierce, quiet guardianship. Jungkook's thumb brushes over the reddened skin of Jimin's shoulder, tracing the faint outline of his teeth. He lingers there, a dark spark of pride flickering in his chest. He did that. He owns that space. Jimin, usually the one to offer care, finds himself completely submerged in the role of the protected. He is small in Jungkook's arms, his body still occasionally jumping with a lingering tremor. Every time he shivers, Jungkook's grip tightens, a silent reminder that he isn't going anywhere. Jimin finally turns within the circle of Jungkook's arms, his movements slow and lethargic. He faces him, his eyes heavy-lidded and dark with a soft, post-release haze. He reaches up, his fingers trembling as he brushes a stray lock of damp hair away from Jungkook's forehead. "You're staring," Jungkook whispers, his voice still a jagged rumble. A ghost of that earlier smirk plays on his lips, but his eyes are infinitely softer now. "I'm just," Jimin pauses, his voice cracking. He clears his throat and tries again, his gaze searching Jungkook's, memorizing this. Jungkook doesn't laugh. Instead, he leans down and presses his forehead against Jimin's, their breaths mingling in the narrow space between them. There's nothing to memorize, Jungkook says, his hand sliding up to cup Jimin's jaw, his thumb dragging across his lower lip. This isn't a one-time thing. You're going to be right here, under me or beside me, for as long as I say so. Understood, Jimin nods, a small, genuine smile finally breaking through the exhaustion. The power dynamic is still there. The command is still clear. But the fear has been replaced by a profound sense of belonging. He leans in, pressing a chaste, soft kiss to Jungkook's nose, before burying his face in his chest. Understood, Jungkook. The lamp on the bedside table flickers once, and then stays dim, casting the room into a deep, peaceful amber. Outside, the world continues to move, but inside this room, time has stopped. Wrapped in the sheets and each other, they drift toward a heavy, dreamless sleep, bound by the marks they've left, and the silence they've finally learned to share. The shift from the bedroom to the cold, glass-walled reality of the corporate office doesn't diminish the tension, it only sharpens it. With Jimin's father, the CEO, away on a 3-day business trip to Singapore, the power dynamic in the building has shifted dangerously. Technically, Jimin is the heir, but in this building, Jungkook is the law. The heavy oak doors of the chairman's office click shut, locking with a finality that makes Jimin's breath hitch. He's sitting in his father's oversized leather chair, trying to look the part of the boss's son, but Jungkook is standing by the window, his suit jacket discarded, and his sleeves rolled up to his elbows. Your father left me a very specific list of goals for you while he's gone, Jimin, Jungkook says, his voice echoing off the minimalist decor. He doesn't look back. He just watches the city traffic below. He thinks you're distracted. He thinks you need discipline. Jungkook finally turns. The soft, protective lover from the night before is gone, replaced by the shark-like manager who climbed the corporate ladder through sheer ruthlessness. He walks toward the desk, each footfall deliberate. He leans over the desk, his palms flat on the mahogany, trapping Jimin between his arms and the chair. 3 days, no parties, no wandering off. You report to me at 8 a.m. and you don't leave until I've cleared your work. Jimin looks up, trying to find a trace of the man who held him so tenderly, but he only finds the man who commanded him to stay still. The thrill of it makes Jimin's pulse jump in his throat. Jungkook reaches down and slides a thick stack of folders across the desk. His fingers linger near Jimin's hand, the heat of his skin, a stark contrast to the air-conditioned chill. Start with these. Every error I find will be a reason for us to stay late, Jungkook murmurs, his eyes dropping to Jimin's lips for a fraction of a second. And we both know how much you struggle with focus when we're alone. Jimin's fingers tremble as he opens the first folder. He can feel Jungkook's gaze burning into the top of his head. Jungkook manager Jion ***. Jungkook corrects him instantly, his voice dropping to that low, warning growl. Remember where we are, sweetheart. Your father gave me full authority over you for the next 72 hours. Don't make me use it all at once. Jimin bites his lip. The memory of the night before flooding back The silence, the surrender, the heat. He looks down at the spreadsheets, his heart racing. Yes, Manager Jian, he whispers. Jungkook smirks, a dark, satisfied expression. He reaches out, his thumb catching Jimin's chin and tilting his face up just enough to see the submission in his eyes. Good boy, now get to work.